Alright there, Procrastinauts, my name's Pleborian and welcome back to the Kerbal Space Program. Last time we were here, we set up a base around the moon. In fact, yes, we did. We set up the incursion base. Now, the intent of that was to be a sort of halfway house between our in-development mining station and our not yet in development craft that will go on to planets such as Jewel and Moho. Now, the next stage, if we get straight into this, I'm going to resume my save game on the live flight, yes. Yeah, I think the next stage is getting our kethane acquisition all sorted up. I'll just have a quick look at this here, just in orbit around the moon. Have a quick butch, just to remind ourselves of what happened yesterday, which I imagine of when the last video was. There she is. 200 km above the surface of the moon, it's good times. But yes, Space Center please. Kethane acquisition. Now, I've been away, I've done a little bit of a practice, and I've got myself a couple of things to do. Now, I tried this two different ways. Now, originally, I'm going to show you this here. This is the craft that is going to be responsible for mining the kethane. Very unorthodox lander setup, I know, it's a bit weird, but it works, believe me it works. Now, the original way I tried this was to have the kethane detector on this craft, but I figured it might be a bit easier for me if I were to send up another craft first to actually find the kethane, and then I've got a target to actually land for on the moon, because it's quite grim on the fuel situation, that thing is. It does what it needs to, but I'd like to be able to have a target that I can land for rather than waiting for the kethane detector to go off and say, oh, we found something, and then I have to engage the engines, do a very fast turn and so on and so forth, and it'd just be a pain in the arse. So I'm going to avoid that by sending up our landing beacon. Hit load. Don't know why, but my mouse seems to be doing some weird shit. Now, as opposed to the last one, this thing is absolutely tiny. It's quite literally 3 stages. We've got the ascent stage, the circularization stage, and then we will actually use this probe to get us the rest of the way to the moon and land. It uses an ion engine in combination with solar panels and these batteries. It's got a kethane detector on the top of it. Now, a lot of people might be wondering, why am I going to use an ion engine when I need to land on the moon? Truth be told, that it does the job, and it does the job well, albeit we're a bit slow. We do tend to float down to the moon's surface quite slow, but slow's better than fast, as you saw what happened to the last 2 modules that I needed to deorbit around the moon. Sadly, this doesn't really have any deorbit doodads. I think it'll just do it as it happens. But we're going to go ahead, we're going to launch this vehicle. And clear the launch pad and proceed. And while it's loading up, I'm just going to take a quick swig of my relentless orange that I've got. I went to the shop and I ended up getting myself some of this. Gotta have a drink, man, gotta have a drink. My throat was getting so coarse in the last recording session. It's not as nice as Monster Ripper, but it'll do. Right, let's go. Thrust up, we're going to get to about that thrust again, and we're going to give a countdown. Because I believe a countdown gives us a bit of extra luck, so on the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Right, we're off. As you can see, just on this little bit of thrust here, we are actually picking up a fair amount of speed. And we do get more bang for a buck having ourselves at this thrust down here. So, good times are ahead in the Kerbal Space Program. Can't really say much about my other series though, while I haven't really got much time. I need to do Sonic 3 and I have to start Abe's Odyssey all over again. I've lost my save game at the point I was up to, so those episodes that I've done are all for naught. It's a bit rough, but I'll cover that when I come to it. For now, let's just fly some rockets and have some fun with this shit. I plan on having some fun, you guys plan on having some fun, I plan on having some fun. Alright, now we're not doing too bad here. Down to about half the fuel. Yeah, well, actually just a little bit over half, but never mind. When we get high enough, I'll start gravity turning a little bit, just to get ourselves on the 90-degree mark. See how much I can actually get out of this ascent stage. Because I believe it or not, I do actually have to finish off the orbit with the ion engines. The fuel that I've got just doesn't cut it, but because I've got ion engines, I don't rightly give 2 shits. All I need to do is just get this thing into orbit, which it does. It does. albeit just about. Ah, burning away, burning away. I really should skip out these launches, but in this instance of these episodes, I think it's quite pertinent that I put the launches on. I mean, I think I did skip a launch once. I did some fast forwarding with some music on, but that's about it. I don't really like skipping launches. The only one that I really ever did was the what was it? The Armstrong, I think it was, where I already showed you that in space. I didn't show you the whole rigmarole I had to show you with the teleportation business. Oh dear. In fact, the new Armstrong that I built actually has a vehicle launch. It actually has a launch vehicle because the that mod, the orbital construction mod, doesn't actually work no more since the new update to the patch, which is a bit of a bummer. Not gonna lie, it's a bit of a bummer. Okay, position yourself over here and hold and do that kind of thing for me, please. But yeah, it had to have its own launch vehicle. There was no other way of getting into space, and the only way to use the launch vehicle is if you switch on the infinite fuel, the unbreakable joints, and the no crash damage. I know it's a bit cheaty, but it's not meant to be flown out of the atmosphere in one big piece. The original intent of it was to be built up piece by piece, but sadly, docking isn't that advanced yet. I mean, docking isn't even in the game as of yet, because the devs are slowly putting into pieces one by one. The pieces are going in towards a proper, full and implemented docking system. It'll come when it comes. I don't know what those pieces are. Quite frankly, I don't care, because I know that the pieces that go towards it are going to be pretty shit hot. You know what, we're doing quite well here. We're doing a little bit better than what I did last time. Yeah, I'm quite happy with the speed we've got up. Now let's finish this off with the ions. Sweet. Give yourself full thrust. Let's see how this goes. Ugh. I've just got an itch on my ear where these headphones are covering me up. Ugh. Put that away. Nice. Solar panels coming out and deploying, doing the duties. You see, we do move quite fast. I mean, look at the distance we're getting away from that craft there. Shit, it ain't so bad. What the fuck was that? I just heard this really weird noise. I don't know if you'd have been able to hear that on the mic, but never mind. It was very strange indeed. Ion engines, slow as shit. So let's time warp that bullshit, because we can do that shit now, which makes ion engines a more legitimate choice. Because these things burn for a long ass time. I'm gonna get to 150,000 meters, and I'm gonna stop there, and we'll finish off the orbit like that, I reckon. How are we doing? The only problem is that it can be very twitchy to control when you got it on that time warp. So I'm just gonna quickly head back there, engage the time warp again. Let's do the time warp again. Oh, nice, okay. Perfect. So bring yourself round to there for us. Get off that time warp. Yes. See, normally before now, this would have been a mega slow process, and I'm talking like I don't even know how slow it could be. Like, imagine a sleepy tortoise. Yeah, a sleepy fucking tortoise, proper sleepy. Just woke up from hibernation for the year. That's how slow it is. But with the new time warp, it's like does next to no time. It's good, man. It's good. Happy days. Right. Okay. So the next port of call, I should imagine, is get myself ready for the injection burn to the moon. Now, this, like I said, this thing is quite slow, so I'm gonna have to burn quite early on, like I did in the original video in this recording session. The one where I missed. In fact, where is it? It's not. Oh, there it is, bastard. Right, let's see if we can do this, shall we? Onto that prograde, and give it everything you've got. As you can see, solar panels have already charged all the batteries. Now, it is quite important that I mention that you should never, ever, ever completely drain these batteries, otherwise the game crashes. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it before, but if I haven't, then which is very, very doubtful, then remember, they crash the game if you let them drain. Crash the game for the drain. Right, okay, so where am I going to be? I don't want to be quite... we are going... I could go for another... nah, fuck it. I was going to say, because if I can get myself at the quarter-2 mark, then that isn't a bad thing. But we're moving quite fast and we're not getting enough delta V at all. Well, fuck it. See what happens. Even if I fuck this up, it doesn't matter, because I have ion engines. They do everything. They really do everything. Technically, with this one probe, I could go for an entire trip around the solar system at some point. And in fact, I might even do that when I've actually plopped my thingy down on the surface of the moon. I could actually take this off and I could go investigate planets beforehand. It'd take me a while to get there. In all fairness, I reckon I'd be going and searching for moons more than planets, because then I could reuse it and go to various different places. Right, we're getting right out there now, so slow down time. Right, okay, nice. See, we should be able to build this down to a nice slow. Let's get to like 50. Yeah, 45,000 meters. Let's see how that works. Good times, good times. See, we should be on form for this now. Bit of a strange angle that is. I've never seen it that wide before, but I think that's because I've really pushed the boat out on this one, as it were. Right, get round to that periapsis. We are gaining a lot of delta V here, so I'm just going to get here and we're going to go like this. 800 meters per second. How much do I need to lose? I should know this one by now for an orbit at this kind of altitude. See how well this does. How's my batteries doing? How are my batteries doing, if I wanted to be grammatically correct about it? Right, okay, we have an orbit. Oh, I could have rendezvoused with the fucking thing. Although then again, I haven't got any RCS powers, so rendezvousing would be quite hard to do. Although, then again, that needs to be brought down, that needs to be brought up. Let's see what I can do. Let's get you down to 45. Okay, now get up to the Apo. Okay, I don't know why I just did the physics time warp there. And then we will match the orbit round. So, whiz around. I love having a small craft, how fucking quick it just whizzes around like that. And let's expand the orbit, and we should be able to equal this out. And then from there, it's a very slow process. I don't know. Oh shit, I forgot all about that. We've actually got to scan for the stuff yet. I left that out on my last video, that I actually used kethane. Detecting. Alright, so I am going to go around it on this kind of angle. As close I can get to an equatorial orbit, the better, in all fairness. But at least I do have a bit of a scan range here. So now, what do? We fast forward to 10 times speed, and we see what happens. Click, click, click. I'll do one orbit on camera, and if we don't find any after that, then I'll probably cut from there and then skip ahead to where we do find some. I mean, it's a pretty distinct difference when we do find some. We get the boop, boop, boop. It's less of a click and more of a ding on the what's it called, when we find something. Now, every time I've ever gone to find kethane, I've always found some on the equator somewhere. It's just a case of looking for it. I mean, we probably have to do, if we find something on the first orbit, chances are we're going to have to do another orbit just to get back round to it and slow myself down in time. Oh. But 45,000 meters, that's not so bad. 45 kilometers. I do believe at this kind of speed, then we will we'll be able to slow ourselves down. Now I'm just checking here. I was just having a good look at this crater here. Is this the one with the monolith inside it with the big? It's kind of got a Miss nipple in the middle of it. For those of you who see my other videos. Grim. Still no sign of that precious kethane. But at least our solar panels are charging up our stuff as we go around. It's not looking hopeful so far, but it could all change. Could all change indeed. Ah, grim times. So, what can I talk about in the meantime? I actually don't have a clue. What's the next stage after this? The next stage after this, I believe, will be actually sending up the rover here to actually start drilling for the kethane. Then I need to make yet another 2 craft. One for an actual kethane processing platform up that can connect to the station. And actually no, I don't need a processing platform that connects to the station. The processing platform needs to be on the craft that gets sent to it. So I need a lander that can transport the keyframe between the surface and the station. And then I need... that's it. I just need a moderately sized lander. And I've pretty much cut out the middleman of using 3 separate mining... fucking hell, 3 separate mining drones on... yeah, because that seems a lot more efficient. I mean, the overall goal of these bunch of episodes isn't going to change, but the way that I get there might. Like in the last bunch of videos I said I was going to have 3 mining probes and then a space on the station for the actual craft, but rather than that, I'm going to have a big ass drill, a big ass transport craft, and then I've killed 2 birds with 1 stone. Then I'll have to transport 1 craft at a time up to the station to refuel whatever's docked at it at the time. Nice. I'm not seeing any keyframe coming up here, ladies and gentlemen. This is not good. I'll let that line fill up there, and if nothing shows, I'll cut the recording and I'll come back to it. But so far, it's looking a bit shit. I've almost finished my can of relentless as well. Bollocks. So, is that a moon arch I see down there? I think it is. It's just going behind the keyframe scan box. I'm also trying to see if I can actually see any green on that map, because some of those dots do look slightly different. And I know this mod does work. I'm pretty sure it works in this version of the game actually. I don't think I've tested it yet. See, it's kind of, the line's kind of changed again. We've got black bits and we've got like white bits of all different colours. Well, come on, any time soon you can want to pick up any keyframe, it'll be good for me. What's that? That's another arch underneath us. Not looking good, ladies and gentlemen. Right, what do I do about this here? Right, I know what I'm going to do about this. I'm going to put my drink down. And I am going to slow down time. Can't believe that we didn't get any detections then, so I'm now going to do... let's see what happens if we go on a perfectly straight line. We're pointing north, so I've got to burn north. And I'm reducing the periapsis, bollocks. Never mind, this will be good once it's done. I need to check out where my angles are, so they're just a little bit past there. Right, yeah, you keep doing that. That's good enough for me. Right, that should be proper equatorial now. Oh man, so no keyfane there whatsoever. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I will be back. I'm going to let this scan and I'm going to see what I can find. In the meantime, well, it'll be 2 seconds for you, so just wait your turn. Right, I'll be back. Alright there, Procrastinauts, we fucking found some. I'm just having a bit of a struggle here. I almost forgot to start the recording, but luckily I've got it going right here. We are 7,000 meters above the surface, and this fucking thing, man. Shut up. In fact, carry on detecting, just don't make the sound. It's pretty obvious that we are coming down on some keyfane. Right, thank God for that, man. You don't understand. Look at this. That was our first orbit, then I did another one, and I've done all of these subsequent ones here. Oh, you do not understand how long that has taken. Honestly, I had time to go away, have a drink, pay a visit to the toilet, have something to eat, and have a cigarette, and I still hadn't found some. Well, I don't know if I'd actually found any by that point, because by the time I come back I had like a little patch, so I went over it again for one more orbit, and I decided, right, I'm going down on this place. So, this is it. And I didn't actually start the recording again. I just started waffling, and I've been talking for God knows how long. I was talking about Just Cause 2 actually, in the multiplayer, and how they've got the sync issue sorted with. If you've ever tried it, you grapple on someone's car and it doesn't quite register on their screen properly. And you saw it at the end of my video where people are trying to take over my vehicle, and they seem to have axed that issue, so that's good. Oh man, but apart from that I really didn't talk about much. I did have a bit of a struggle getting down, actually, saying that. I kind of flew over the patch and I had to fly backwards. If you look here, I'm going like almost the opposite way of where I was. I need you to speed up a little bit because we are getting quite close. We've got plenty of energy. Even though the sun isn't out and about, we've still got plenty. You know what, I'm going to undeploy these for the descent. Don't want them to shake off. It seems we're getting quite close. I can't believe we had to land on the dark side of the moon. I did a bit of a complaining about that as well, having to land on the dark side of the moon, but no matter. No matter indeed. But we are... Right, I'm going to take it down to there. We should hold our speed. No, can you go up one higher? Tap it. There you go. Try that. I want to descend at a nice natural speed. And when I say natural, I mean I just want it to stay in one place, which it isn't doing. But you know what? Slow down a little bit. We're getting a bit closer. The any old Iron Man's outside, fucking trying to peddle his wares, trying to collect our iron. Alright, okay, we're nearly down. Are we still here? Sweet, so we know here is where the keyfane is. Okay, speed up, slow down a bit more. Speed up, slow down a bit more. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Okay. Keep this speed right. I need it going slower. No. Okay, just fall. Just fall. Get a little bit close to that floor. I can't believe it did that. Dirtbags. Slow down. You're about to collide with the floor. Right, okay. We made it down. Are we still on the keyfane? Yes, we are. Thank God for that. Oh, man. Right. On to the next stage of the plan. Getting the rover to land on this point. Where are we on the map? Right, we are quite... we're just above the equator. That should be minimal fucking around when it comes to getting the rover here. If not, we can just drive to it. In the meantime, I'm going to cut this here. I'm going to take another wee break because descending that took longer than I thought as well, with the extra orbit as well. I'm going to have another ciggy, and I think I'll come back and I'll send the rover here, and then that will be another stage of our plan complete. Can't be bad. Can't be bad at all. Alright. In fact, let's get this in the daytime. Alright, it's daytime. We can undeploy these. You can stop redetecting now because we know we're on the marker here, and that's it. Sweet. Oh man, that was hard. That was hard work, but it was well worth it. Definitely, definitely worth it. So as always, ladies and gentlemen, if you like this episode, hit the like button. If you've not already, hit the subscribe button. It means a lot to me if you do. And stay tuned for tomorrow's episode where we start sending our rover. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, peace out.